It's May, that means it's my birthday month. Today I am going to be bringing you my May TBR. I've already completed 2 months throughout the month of May so far, and they are Baby Doll by Hollie Overton and Never Never by Colleen Hoover, which I don't have a physical copy of. I listened to it on Audible on my way to work in the morning while stuck in the dreaded traffic. I will speak about Baby Doll first. I'm not going to do a review, I'll leave that for my May wrap up, but I'll give you the premise of this book. This is about a girl who is 16 and she gets abducted, and then she spends the next 8 years in a cabin locked away with her abductor, basically being used as a sex slave. She gets emotionally and physically abused. There are mild trigger warnings for rape, but there is nothing graphic involved. This book is actually about how she escapes, because one day her kidnapper has a lot on his mind and he forgets to lock the cabin when he leaves. So she takes her chance and she takes her and her baby that he impregnated her with along the 8 years that she spent there, and she escapes, runs back home to her family. She's actually super close to them, and it's about re-entering society and rejoining her family and how her family has changed, discovering a death of one of her relatives and some of the betrayals that one of her family members have done to her. And it's hectic, and you know, I'm not going to speak too much about it, actually, no, leaving it for the review at the end of the month. Then I listened to Never Never by Colleen Hoover, part 1. This is a novella series which is all about these 2 kids called Silas and Charlie, who basically wake up one morning and they have absolutely no recollection of their lives. They don't know who they are, they know no one, they don't even recognize their own parents. And it's basically them discovering who they are, their hobbies, their interests, and how their lives are, what, you know, everything. It's pretty crazy. Imagine if that happened to you. And it actually leads you asking yourself the question, would you like who you are if you woke up one day and had no idea who you were, and discovering how you live your life, how you treat others? It's very good. I really enjoyed it, but also going to leave it for my May wrap up. Never Never is also written both by Colleen Hoover and Tarryn Fisher. The book that I'm going to be picking up throughout the month is Milk and Honey, which is a poetry collection. This is about the writer's, I think, her own experience with love and loss, and there's apparently also some stuff about sexual assault in here and healing, and it's got everything in it, and it's absolutely stunning. I have flipped through it a little bit already, and I just adore what I have read so far. And it's the kind of book I've heard that you can kind of just open it up onto a random page, and so you don't have to read it page for page, but I think I'm going to, just because I think it would be really well structured, how it's love and loss and healing, and I think that it would be beautiful to read it the correct way, if you understand what I mean. But if you've read Milk and Honey, let me know what you thought of it. I'm very excited to get into poetry. It's something I've been meaning to get into for a really long time. I sadly left my Emily Dickinson complete collection of her poetry works in Neisner. I would love to get my hands back on that book because I really want to read more poetry, but I had a bit of a struggle reading Emily Dickinson. I don't know, I think poetry is something you've really got to be in the mood for, but I have a feeling that this is going to be quite healing for me personally, having been through a breakup and that it was quite traumatic, and I think that this could have some benefits in my little life. I started Into the Water by Paula Hawkins, who wrote The Girl on the Train. Very excited for this book, guys. It just got released, so obviously I ran to the bookstore, grabbed a copy. I phoned them and I was like, please save me a copy, you're going to run out. And they were like assuring me, we have over 100 copies, Jade, it's fine. We are not going to run out, but we will keep one aside for you anyway. So thank you very much to Exclusive Books for keeping me a lovely floppy copy, because I'm just so excited. I started it this morning at 5 AM after finishing Baby Doll, and from what I gather, this book is about a river that claims a lot of women's lives. They keep drowning, their bodies show up in the water, and the one victim is a mother to a little girl, or a girl, and then the mother's sister has to come back to the place where this river is to look after the daughter, and they don't really know each other, and the sister had actually run away because she didn't want to be anywhere near the river. But so I'm excited, guys. I'm really, really excited. It's another thriller. I love thrillers and I'm just, oh, brand new book. I'm just, Then I am going to be picking up my very first Neil Gaiman book. This is American Gods, which I believe is kind of about like a parallel universe of America. The main character is a guy called Shadow who is in jail, and he served his time. He's really excited to get out and return home to his wife. Then he finds out that his wife and his best friend have been killed in an accident, and his whole world crumbles apart. And then he meets this strange person called Wednesday who offers him a job as, I think, like a bodyguard or something, and then these really strange things start to happen, and it's full of eccentric characters. I must say that I am a little bit nervous about picking this up purely because it is my first Neil Gaiman book and I really do want to enjoy him. Fantasy is not my normal thing, as many of you know, but Gaiman is someone I really, really do want to try and just jump on the bandwagon with. But I have heard from many booktubers that the first 100 pages of this were so great and they were completely gripped and had to keep picking it back up. But after that, something just wasn't really compelling them to pick it back up whenever they put it down, and it just wasn't as addictive. So let me know if you've read this and what you thought of it in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope I like it, guys. This book that I will be attempting throughout the month of April is one that I got from the publishers in exchange for an honest review, Jonathan Bull Publishing, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This follows a little boy called Laszlo Strange who has this massive dream to go, he's always wondered about this long lost land called Weep, and one day he has this opportunity to go and find out exactly what happened to this place 200 years ago, and he has to seize the moment before he loses his dream forever, and it's just his adventure, I guess. And I, again, am not the biggest fantasy person, but just look at this book, guys. It is so beautiful. I am beyond excited to try it. Everyone has been raving about this book and Laini Taylor's writing in general, so I have high hopes, and I really just, I can't wait to do a review on it and to just thank the publishers over and over and over again, Jonathan Bull Publishing, for giving me a copy of this book in exchange for an honest review. So these are the books that I'm going to be reading throughout the month, guys. There's a lot of them, but I mean, in April I read 8, almost 10 books. Baby Doll and Never Never were actually part of my April reads. I finished them at the very beginning of the month. So I've got a couple of great books to get through this month, guys. Let me know which ones you think I should start with after I finish Into the Water. We've got Strange the Dreamer, American Gods, and Milk and Honey. What else? Oh, I'm also going to be listening to Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover this month on my way to work in the morning. This is like the second book in, it's not really a series. There's the book by Colleen Hoover called Hopeless, which I think I finished last month or the month before, which was really good. And so Losing Hope is the second book, and it's just following the guy from Hopeless, Dean Holder, his story, because he's a twin, I believe, and he loses his sister who commits suicide, and when they were kids their best friend got abducted, and it's how he finds the best friend again all these years later, and this is just his side of the story, so it's going to be really interesting. It's a 10-hour audiobook, so I am very excited to get into it, and I'm just plowing through Colleen Hoover's books like there's no tomorrow. I adore her. If I could have the physical copies, I would, but I can't find them in South Africa, so that's very sad. If anyone is watching this that can make Colleen Hoover books come to South Africa and arrive on my doorstep and into my life, please let me know. Make it happen. Anyway, have a fantastic May, guys, and let me know what you're reading in the comments down below. Bye!